Good evening. On the 15th of last month, it started raining very heavily in the Kedar Valley. 2 days later, it hadn't stopped. On the 17th, all hell broke loose. The entire world knows what happened next. Now we are told that 5,700 odd people have lost their lives, most likely to have lost their lives. Most of these bodies have never been found. Now, almost a month after the Kedarnath tragedy, a team of NDTV reporters in Okimat, Radhika Bodia, Tejas Mehta in the Sonprayag Kedarnath axis, and I in the Uttarkashi front try and bring together the story of what's changed over here in the last 1 month. Radhika Bodia has this story of how children are slowly beginning to return to schools. Remember, many of these children in the Okimat area have lost their parents. They've lost their loved ones. How does a child go back to school? They must go back to school at some stage. But imagine what's going through those young minds.
The sound of the school bell for just a moment breaks the gloom that prevails in Okimat. These students are returning to their school for the first time after the Kedarnath tragedy that has altered their lives forever. The principal's solemn call to remember their missing classmates is a grim reminder of that.
और हमारे विद्यालय के 16 छात्र इस आपदा में अपने जीवन लीला को खो चुके हैं.
This government inter-college has 16 students who went missing. As is tradition here, when schools shut for summer, children go up to help their family businesses during peak yatra season, which is why the number of missing children is so high, 150 in this region. Every student here has a story of loss, of family members, of their family livelihoods. Deepak was caught in the deluge along with his cousin. He was the only one to survive. 17 members from his village have died.
आजकल तो अच्छा लग रहा सर. जब वहाँ फंसे थे ऐसा लग रहा था कि अपने घर पहुँच पाएंगे कि नहीं पहुँच पाएंगे. वो ख्याल आ रहा है बार बार कि हम वहाँ फंसे थे, हम घर पहुँच पाएंगे कि नहीं पहुँच पाएंगे.
Ankit is from the same village, also struggling to cope with loss, but determined now to focus on his education.
जो हमारे साथ के दोस्त थे वो हमारे साथ से गुजर गए, पर हमें दुख तो बहुत है, पर हमें ये भी है कि हमारी पढ़ाई भी है और 12th में हमारा बोर्ड वो भी है, और अगर स्कूल बंद हो जाएगी तो हमारा भी बहुत नुकसान होगा.
It's this resilience of the youth that the principal says is important to seize on. He was keen that schools be reopened soon. Just how hard though it is for these students to reach school was evident by the principal's advice to them during the morning assembly. His words also sum up ground realities in Okimat.
बच्चों, आपका जीवन इस देश के लिए, हमारे क्षेत्र के लिए, हमारे समाज के लिए बहुमूल्य है. आपको विद्यालय आने का जो समय हमारा निर्धारित है, उस परिस्थितियों में प्राकृतिक कोई भी ऐसी स्थिति आती है, बरसात है, मार्ग टूटा है, ऐसी स्थिति आती है कि आप गंतव्य विद्यालय के स्थान तक नहीं पहुंच पाते हैं, तो उस समय आप अपने को वहीं रोक दें और रोकने के बाद आप सुरक्षित अपने घर को वापस हो जाएं, क्योंकि जीवन आपका बहुमूल्य है.
Perhaps the most moving testimonies have come from these students who, in the midst of tragedy, having lost their friends, some even their family members, are determined to continue with their education, worried about their 12th examinations. The schools reopened today in Okimat, and in a region so devastated by this tragedy, this is one sign of normalcy. In Okimat with Ridesh Joshi and Sudesh Kumar Ram, Radhika Bodia for NDTV.
Well, of all of our reporters covering 1 month after this tragedy struck in the Kedarnath region, my colleague Tejas Mehta is the closest. He's in the Sonprayag Guptkashi stretch. Tejas, you've been reporting about relief material reaching this area. How does it remain a concern to some of the people you've met?
Right, Vishnu, we've been here for 3 weeks and that remains the biggest concern given the fact that road links have all snapped up. And just take a look, very quick look at the weather here. The monsoon clouds completely, very, very dark clouds, hovering ominously over the over the sky here in Gupta Kashi itself. Very difficult for helicopters actually to reach out to cut-off villages. There are at least 75 cut-off villages, and most of them say that yes, they have the administration here says that they have given them relief. But we went to one of the villages nearby, and we just saw what sort of relief are they really getting from point A, that's the Pradhan's office, where the government ration really comes in, 2 kilos of atta and 2 kilos of rice, and then they took it home. They opened it right before us, and what we saw, we were shocked ourselves because the rice was filled with insects and the atta was fine. But of course, they also are getting torn clothes from NGOs and individuals. They do need relief, they do need help, but they also need their own dignity and their honor not to be compromised.